Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for kickoffs and kick-ons.
Mate, you have done a great job with that.
It's a fucking lovely backdrop, Gits.
Yeah, it worked all the time.
I'm just thinking, would the yellow work better behind Gits? Because, you know, like he's so fucking, his complexion's gorgeous. Would the yellow be a bit better?
I just thought that KOKO should be centre.
Totally.
Well, you know what I have one request. I'd like at some point we ask you to get the hat off the hook and you be just bare bum on it. It's become a thing.
Are you Mac Hansoning it right now?
To grab? No. I've got the shorts on. I've just left the kids, didn't leave the wife. You know what I mean?
We've definitely started. This is great. Would you like to count me in, Swoop?
Sure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Swoop. Well, g'day and welcome to the KOKO Show. Yes, kickoffs and kick-ons. It's a rugby show that caters to the entire rugby world, the whole globe. We think every rugby player and every rugby competition is equal, don't we, gents?
Yeah.
We firm believers in that.
Yep.
And we don't judge any comp differently.
Rugby equality.
That's right. We're all about KOKO love, and that's what we want to give each comp. Mm-hmm. Now, on our a la carte menu today for the pod, amazing first week of Superb Rugby. Am I right, gents? Good.
Oh, it was bloody super.
Genuinely.
Unbelievable.
Look, every single game went down to the wire. It's the best opening in the entire 30 seasons of the Superb Rugby.
Has it been 30?
It was the 30th anniversary on the weekend. There you go. 4 of our Aussie teams got it done. That's right, statisticians, all 4, the land of koalas. And Keith.
That's not incorrect, Prof.
No,
One of the teams didn't play.
Waratahs, Force, Brumbies, and Crusaders all got it done. Aussie sides. Obviously, now it is with Jock at the helm.
Yeah.
Officially
Didn't he go well
Australian.
too? We'll get into that. But.
Oh, absolutely. The other thing we're going to talk about, 0 Six Nations matches. Lots to dissect there. Apparently there was no matches on the weekend. They did them all at the same time.
What is it, a fallow week?
Fallow week. But we will be taking a look ahead. We'll be Christy balling it a touch. Maybe this ep, maybe the next one. Just a reminder, there are 2 episodes. That's the new format.
And we've listened. You've whinged. We've listened. We're going to bring it forward. We understand that Friday was probably a bit too late to watch the preview show, given that people have to work on a Friday before the Friday night kickoff. So I think we've landed, Thursday morning?
Thursday morning
Australian time. So that gives you a commute on Thursday morning, Thursday evening, Friday morning, and then Super Rugby kicks off.
Absolutely, yeah. So all you people with gambling
See, I told you guys, I've always said, Goit, whinging pays.
Oh, it does. No one knows how you feel until you whinge.
Yeah, it gets you what you want.
Are you encouraging more whinging on our page? Because it's pretty heavy at the moment.
Yeah, you know what? I've seen a real difference from last year's comments to this year, and I fucking love it.
Should I right now apologise? I'm sorry I said that they speak Gaelic in Ireland. In my apology to the island of Ireland, they speak Irish. So hopefully...
I think if we're looking to apologise, the show will be filled with them. Like, we just got to keep it going. We don't mean any harm, but let's just move on, you know?
Well said, Goit. Oh, actually, I've got another apology here. We promised Finn Russell.
Yeah, we did.
Unfortunately, Finn, as you saw last week, took the heavy head knock. Swoop, you reported
Can we insert his apology?
No, I have got here that he did speak to his doctor, and his doctor said if he is trying to get his head right, the last thing he needs is talking to you 3 fuckwits.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
We happy with that? What did you say you saw the doctor for?
Oh, just, maybe something he may have contracted over the weekend.
No, the kids are
like a flu or something.
Kids have got a bug at the moment.
Yeah, it's going around. Global. Yeah. It's an epidemic.
In Finn's place, we have, gentlemen, what do we call it? A drum roll? A ding. Will Skelton.
Yeah, Big Willie.
Yeah.
They call me Willie.
The big man.
Willie Skelton.
So he will be in the 2nd episode this week. We'll be chatting to him, all things Wallabies, all things living in France, all things playing with you 3. That'll be a good one on
Thursday morning, Australian Eastern time.
Fantastic. Now, the last thing we like to do is just to introduce you 3 gents. Theme this week, obviously in light of James O'Connor turning the Crusaders into an Australian side. Our theme, it's things that we consider both Australian and Kiwi.
Okay.
So first of all, pavlova. Both countries claim it. That's you, Drew.
Oh.
Crispy outside, but soft in the middle. It's a proper dish that your nan loves bringing to Christmas lunch.
Yeah.
And according to your Tinder profile, always tastes good, covered in cream and passion fruit. So, our little pavlova there.
Pavy.
Swoop, your far lap. Obviously, both countries. This is Swoop. Big heart, strong legs, luscious mane. I mean, look at that hair. Used to be fast, but is now clinically dead.
Yep.
Which leaves crowded house. Goit, your crowded house. Because every Monday night, Bianca says, you'd better be home soon. And I can be, I don't know,
Russell Crowe, maybe?
Russell Crowe, yeah. Let myself go in my later years.
Maximus Decimus.
Yeah, there you go.
You're no fucking gladiator.
Mate. Oh, well, you've seen The Gladiator lately?
Yeah.
I wish I looked like him. He's looking great. Righto, let's get into the weekend that was, gents. Obviously, all lead.
Wow.
Very exciting, busy lives. Did anybody learn anything on their adventures? Who would like to go first? Goit?
I learned. I think from a rugby point of view, I learned about that line out, that if no one's lifting, it doesn't even have to be straight. Hooker's just throwing it in quick. I think you just got to be supported or something. So I saw a few teams trying it. The Brumbies had a go at it. I think it could have been in the Chiefs-Blues game as well. Did you fellas know about that?
Yeah, I knew about it, but yeah.
Sorry, how's it work? If
it's an uncontested line out, it doesn't need to be straight.
So you could throw it like an NFL pass?
Well, I mean, like if it's
even a footy pass.
The whole idea of it is to make sure it's an even contest. But if they choose not to contest it, then it negates the need for it to be straight.
I didn't. Did you know that one, Swoop?
No, actually didn't.
Back when I used to have a job in commentary, you had to be across those things.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so it was last year as well, was it?
I think I didn't actually work in commentary last year. I think it might have been the year before.
Right, it's that far back. Well, anyway, I learned that. And from a life point of view, well, I suppose with that fantasy rugby tipping, the one thing I've learned is to probably look at the team sheets and not go too soon. I think not going too soon is probably the life lesson.
Yeah, that's probably good for everything in life, Goit, not to go too soon.
Exactly. That's what I was referring to.
I made a similar mistake, Goit, so I know what you mean. I had a lot of Queenslanders in my team, but I haven't done this fantasy thing before. But then they've got the little red cross.
Yeah.
And then I panicked Friday, worked out that means they're not playing. I knew they weren't playing, et cetera, et cetera. Do you actually, while we're on this, do you want me quickly to do where we're ranked currently in our...
Yes.
Yeah, let's
I think that's a great idea,
Oh, you want me to?
Well, you know what? It's been a great involvement, engagement of all the KOKO listeners. What have we got? A league of about 834.
Wow. 834 registered teams.
And shout out to Big Maso.
Big Maso.
Yeah.
Do you think that's Willie Mason?
Oh, it could be, but he's leading the entire comp, not just our league.
And what's he get if he wins?
10 grand.
Stop it.
Oh, the comp. Ours is just a merch pack.
Worth 10 grand.
Worth 10 grand.
No, don't put that.
Oh, okay. You're not allowed to say that?
Yeah.
So, get this, Swoop. He made Damien McKenzie the captain, and he also did his triple play on it. So he racked up 312 points from one player.
Greedy bastard.
That almost beat you.
Yeah, I know.
Do you reckon he's going to
hang on, play?
boosters, though?
What's the triple play?
So you've got one time where your captain can be worth 3 times.
Oh, one time in the season.
Yeah, it's part of the boosters package, which I'm assuming you can only use once, right, throughout the season, Tom?
Yeah.
I think I had Alan Alatoa as my captain. Did he? He didn't play, did he?
Yeah.
No. All right, well, let's do the rankings. Swoop Dog. Holy dolly. Swoop Dog is 83rd. So he's in the top 100.
This is out of the KOKO Fantasy
Out of the
League,
KOKO Fantasy. So out of 830, you're at 675 points. Congratulations, Swoop. What was your big pick? Who did you get?
Well, I made Damien McKenzie my captain.
Had
Will Jordan in the back 3.
Yes.
Who cleaned up. Just a really smart 15, well selected. Obviously, all my players I selected played. I think you picked 14 out of 15 who were injured. Probably makes...
But I can change them now, right?
Yeah.
You can now.
Yeah, fantastic.
Might want to trade them out. But for players that are playing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But just general RQ, rugby intelligence.
And so you're
I'm first.
RQ.
Yeah, I'm first.
You're first.
Out of us.
Yeah, out of us. And Coach Biv, love the name.
Coach Biv, yeah.
You are 478th on 512 points, but you're coming second in our little group.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I had some good contributors, some not so good. I also, you know what I did? This is also a tip for the people at home. Before I left work on Friday, I tried to change Ravu Tamanda because he wasn't playing for the DRUA to Sevu Reece, but I forgot to do the old confirm. And then we realised when we were watching Friday night, once the game had already happened, that I had a player that was selected that wasn't going to play, but I could still trade him out. So I put Mark Talea in, but Sevu Reece was a high performer. So I lost out on a few points there. But that's just a little tip for those at home.
Mate, that's why you're the coach, Coach Biv. Goit, your name's Goit, which is good. You're 701st on 402 points.
Yeah, that's all right.
What were you? Where did you make most of your points, mate? Who was your high performer?
Yeah, as I said, that was probably my life lesson. I'm learning a little bit. My highest performer, I knew that I was going pretty shit, so I didn't bother checking the where I was standing until Tommy said we need to know where you're actually sitting at. So I don't know who did well for me. I think this week will be big, though.
Did you have 4 Brumbies?
As many as you could select, I think.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, and they got rested, unfortunately.
Yeah, I made the same mistake. And the prof, doesn't matter where he is.
No, Prof, where'd you go?
Where are you,
No,
mate?
I don't know.
700.
He worse than me.
Sorry, Goit.
He worse than me.
719th
Yeah.
on 385 points.
Yeah. What about Tommy? Where's
Tommy, where are you, mate?
I'm 333rd.
Oh, so he's second.
330. Okay.
Got 569 points.
It's a great ranking. 333.
Yeah, well done, Tommy. Hooray for you.
And
Great
Hugo
work.
didn't want to play.
Hugo didn't want to play. And that's it. Okay, gents, make sure. Can people still join the Fantasy League?
Yeah,
No,
they
they can.
Yeah.
Jump
I mean,
in.
only takes one good round to leapfrog you, Prof, so they can join.
Right, mate. So you can join, go to fantasysuperleague.com. I don't know. Is that where you go, Tommy?
It's Play Fantasy. Or
Play
something.
Fantasy. Get on there. Have some fun. It is lots of fun. Gents, as I said, goodness me, what a weekend of superb rugby. It is time now for the Rugby Roundup segment. It is this week, the Superb Rugby Summation. Don't know if there's a sting there. We'll find out when we watch it back. Folks.
Do you watch it back?
Hey?
Huh?
Yeah, legally.
mind.
I have to. Just to make sure we cut out all your bits where you say the wrong thing.
Right. Thank you.
My pleasure. Crusaders 33 defeated Wellington 25. As we mentioned, friend of yours and the pod, James O'Connor, ran out at number 10. I believe, Biv, I've got your name next to this.
Well, he came off the bench, in that 10 position, but I just thought he looked really sharp. Like, he looked fit. And the other thing, he just looked really happy. Like, he's
And relaxed.
Yeah, he's in a good spot. I thought he just his footwork and just the way he was, evading players and the way he was bringing the ball back from the backfield, but also just like the calmness and the experience he showed. I think he's going to add a lot to that Crusaders side throughout the course of the year. And then you know what else I liked? I saw on the socials. He was lining up in the drive-thru at McDonald's after the game to get a little post-game treat. And the people in front of him were Crusaders supporters and realised it was James behind, and they paid it forward and asked to pay for James's order. And then he got out of the car and just went up to thank them. And so he's welcomed with open arms there in Crusaders territory.
Very good. Now, they jumped out to an early lead, the Hurricanes, 14-0. They were up. And then I've got here, Tommy's written as an unlikely hero. In the 10th minute, starting halfback Noah Hotham, he suffered a lower leg injury. So the debutant, Kyle Preston, came on, who was from Wellington, ended up bagging himself a hat-trick on debut.
Incredible.
Yeah, a hat-trick on debut. So I don't know if it's 0.1 percentile or 0.01 of fantasy people chose him in their team. So probably just a collection of his mates. But he got a hat-trick on debut. He's in the top 10 for fantasy players for that weekend. But I just thought he was great. His support lines, as all quality halfbacks are, straight down the middle. The ball comes back to him, and I just, for someone on debut, he didn't look like he was perturbed by the occasion. And he was
Surely he's the only halfback in history to come off the bench and score a triple.
No, it would have happened.
Tom,
that could be part of your sexy stats next week.
Have you got a sexy stat on this game? Because you
Not this game in particular.
But you
just
do have
around.
some.
Yeah.
But I would like to mention it looked like the Crusaders of old. Like they looked very sharp. There was Havili had a great game.
Well,
That
and
little chip
captain
over
as
the
well.
chase to Will Jordan, to Sevu Reece. Like, geez, they're big players. They played really well on the weekend. Plenty of.
I think I heard through the coverage, Goit, that Dave Havili is the first ever captain, or first ever back player to be captain for the Crusaders. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah,
no.
when you think of
I
like
would've thought DC,
Dan Carter, Andrew
even
Mertens,
Andy
and-
Ellis.
Yeah, I mean Major as well, Aaron Major back in the day. Like, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I
Sevu-
could be
Sevu
wrong. I
Reece
could get.
Made, sorry, Beefo, with the little delay, I was about to say Sevu Reece made it challenging on the fantasy when you picked him in your fantasy team. He kept getting held up. He was close to scoring, but he was everywhere. I thought in the second half, especially that back three, they really ignited the team.
Yeah, well, Will Jordan hadn't played for the
Yeah.
Crusaders in over 600 days or something, so
right.
he'd come back and just. I mean, he was
Smoked it.
incredible. Yeah.
obviously they are the most successful franchise ever, but let's face it, had a real stinker last year.
Mm-hmm.
Are they back? Are the Aussie Crusaders?
Well, they had a stinker last year, but they still weren't far from making the finals
That's right,
in
they
the
made
end,
a run
right?
at the
Like,
end,
so they've always got it there. I just think like now Rob Penny's had a bit more time with those guys, and I don't know, maybe Havili's leadership did a bit of a change in the leadership, and you can see it means a lot to them when they're playing for the Crusaders jersey. But yeah, like you said, it just looked like things were clicking a lot more than they were last year, especially this time last year.
Now, they got the Chiefs next week, but we'll get into that in the second episode. That's much more of a preview. Congrats to the Crusaders. Now, the Waratahs, goodness me. If you watch this game, that last 10 minutes...
Well, the whole second half, there were several lead changes in the
well,
second
it was
half.
9. I've got
It was
sexy
a
stat.
real scrap, like punch for punch. But the boys did extremely well to get over the line in the end. And also a great response from last year's third round where they'd lost the game on the bell. I think Tane had a chance from about 45 out to win the game. That was last year, the third round. And then this year, obviously, winning the game in the death. So a nice little 1-for-1 there. But 7 debutantes. What I was most impressed about was the impact of the bench. Like the finishers coming on doing a really good job. You know, Mahe, Vailanu, Jamie Adamson, the UK import. I thought he came on, put a good few
Did we
shots.
see him the next morning down Bondi?
We did.
We
early
were just doing a
too.
little promenade, hot boy walk on 7 a.m. on Saturday morning. And he was down there getting into the ocean. 7 a.m. I was like, hey, give yourself a sleep in.
What's a hot boy walk?
Oh, just where you look hot and you just walk along the promenade.
Oh, the two of you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what do you wear smaller things or?
Oh, just generally some shorts and no shirt.
Oh, yeah. Send a pic.
Strut.
Don't sell us short. We
Yeah.
did a bit of a dip.
Did you?
Yeah, we
Did
did
you
our
do
own little
any-
regen.
Any soft sand? Bit of a shuffle.
Oh, we've done
People
that,
love
but I've sworn myself off it now.
He's been whinging a lot about the soft sand, so I've had to pull back on proposing that most mornings now.
Now,
But back to the Waratahs.
Yes. Now, two things. One, I didn't do a score check at the top. That is my job as the host, and I apologise. Right in the comments. 37-36,
36.
they defeated the Highlanders. Second thing, there's a little something you've got under your shirt there.
Oh yeah. Obviously,
He's just, for those of you listening, he's just removing his garment. And look at this. He underneath.
Oh.
I mean, did you talk about a hot
the
boy
baby blue still
summer?
looks good.
Yeah.
He's wearing a Waratahs
What were we talking
singlet.
about last week? Blue whales or something?
That they're not extinct, are they? Clearly, there's one on the couch. Come on, Drew.
Oh, no,
Don't
mate.
fucking laugh, Prof.
No, I didn't. I was laughing ironically because it's so sad that they're
I've
dying.
lost a couple of kilos.
You look good.
It died.
Yeah, 106 to 103. Anyway,
What your BMI for your height would be between that, wouldn't it?
oh mate, yeah, still
Like
plenty of
98,
mass.
110.
Yeah, still plenty of mass about me, but
Is that his big man index?
I'm
not laughing.
Anyway,
So,
but
mate,
look, the boys
Waratahs.
got off to a good start. Yeah, but again, just going back, the finishers did a great job. I thought they got them over the line. Good performances all around. I like how the back three worked. Jorgensen, Suoli'i.
Yeah, I was going to say, Goit, I heard you speaking on SEN. I think it was maybe Saturday. You made a good point around like McKellar trying to bring Joseph Suoli'i into the game by putting him at fullback, but they kind of found a way to almost nullify that by just putting high balls on him. So then when he catches those contested kicks, they hit him at that moment. So then, therefore, he can't have too much of an impact outside of that. Do you want to elaborate on what you said on Saturday?
Yeah, well, I think the first thing I was mentioned, what Sweet was talking about with the back three, I thought Jorgo, I love watching him play. The way he competes, he just loves to mix it. Like, even he doesn't look like a big player on the field, but he just competes. So I thought he was great. But my point on Swali was probably, even talking with Ma when they used to play us and we had Izzy at the back, they found it easier to contain him when he was at the back because they just put high balls on, or you'd kick it long with 3 or 4 people to chase, and he doesn't have that run threat. So as soon as you shut him down there, then the rest of the backs can get involved and do whatever. I was saying on the radio that I think he's better suited at 13 to get him involved, and teams can't work out a plan to really shut him down that way, because if he's at 13, you can use him as a decoy runner, which is great. If he sits players down, you can play out the back and still create an overlap. But when he's at fullback, just through a kicking game, you can make him tired, and you can also isolate him and take away his run threat by what I was saying. You put the high kicks on, then he's got to catch it. He doesn't have time to run. You tackle him, compete at the breakdown or whatever, but he doesn't get that opportunity really with ball in hand that often. So I thought while he had a good game, I still think he could be used better off set piece, and potentially at 13, he can come back off a kick and tackle on the short side, or he can come back after a kick and he can still be a running threat then off the ball player. I just think you could get more out of him if you played him at 13, is my opinion.
Yeah, well, I think at 13, he can get into the game on your terms, rather than at 15, he gets into the game on the kicking terms of the opposition. And as Giddy's just alluded to, that can also be at a time where you can't do anything other than catch a contestable kick. The other thing that we haven't spoken about too much is the impact that he can have defensively. I mean, we were speaking about it when we were watching the game. We saw it on the spring tour last year. He's got the capacity to pull off a big shot as well, which then gets the attitude and the atmosphere around in the team. It gets that up. Sort of just players sort of buoy around someone who pulls off a big shot. He can get into a game that way as well on the defensive end, whereas at fullback, obviously, you can't do that so much. So, but on the flip side of us, we're all sitting here saying we'd like to see him play at 13. He's come out after the game saying he'd like to spend more time at fullback. So if that's his preferred, that's I think where we'll probably see him more. But yeah, I think we're probably all in agreement that we think he's probably better suited at 13.
Also, off the back of that, I thought Fiketti actually played really well.
Yeah.
This isn't a crack at him. I thought he competed well. He was physical at the breakdown. He had strong ball carries. I thought he actually played really well, but it was just on the radio I got asked where I think Swali can add the most impact to his team. So that's why I said that.
I also thought there's probably the next sort of growth area, I think, for this Waratah team is the one thing the Highlanders did really well was defend. They had a really structured defensive line. They were all working in unison. And it felt like after a few phases of not being able to go anywhere or break it down, they were just putting over these little sort of, toppy kicks or just trying to find some grass. And a lot of them probably weren't for outcome. So it's about trying to recreate momentum and having other ideas up your sleeve and just kicking the ball away. So, I mean, obviously it's the first round. Like I thought across the board of the Super Rugby over the weekend, the skill level was high. But I think the more time that these guys spend together as well, and obviously a lot of debutants, as you just mentioned, but just finding other ways to recreate momentum and then, shortening the defensive line to then open up some space is probably their next growth.
Now, you talk about Sualihi, something that happened after the game. I don't know if you boys saw this, but normally players go and they sign the autographs on the side. He climbed up into the crowd and was standing in amongst the kids. And when Morgan Tiranui chatted to him, unbelievable. It was like Elvis Presley was in there and just like amongst these kids. I've never actually seen a player. I mean, obviously you used to do it, Swoop, with all the fans. Did you used to go in there?
Yeah. I'd go right to the back, to the nosebleeds.
Right. And you'd be right up there with the punters.
The battlers.
Swoop dogs here. But isn't that amazing that this guy's getting paid all that money and he's going and I just feel like...
I think that's the one impressive thing apart from his athleticism and his transition from league to union is the fact that he's got a really good head on his shoulders. He seems really grounded, centered, composed. And he's what? How old is he?
21.
21. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to be said for that. The fact that he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders in terms of the expectation, the pressure, probably his own kind of pressures and expectations as well. I mean, the fact that he's performing well, he can welcome, signing the kids' jerseys, invite media to while he's doing that as well after a game. Like, I mean,
I think he just understands.
That's the role model. That's the role model the game needs.
Yeah, he understands the presence that he's got and also the opportunity he's got to have an impact on people, and he's certainly doing that. And you'd like this one, Swoop. I know that you're all about your stillness and your calmness. Joey meditates.
Mate, I've seen some imagery.
Have you?
Well, I mean, before a game, I'm not
Grounding?
sure if you noticed.
Yeah.
He gets ground. He walks out to the field before the warm-up starts, bare feet, some type of connection, getting his feet on the ground. Does his little thing out there. But obviously, I think it's either before training or after training. He kind of just sits there in his nice little...
Do you meditate, Swoop?
I try.
It's hard, isn't it?
Very hard. There's a few layers that I work through that is quite distracting. But, mate, look, it's... it's not for everyone, right?
No, but it's good. It is. It's good. Do you, Biv? I'd be fascinated to see.
Yeah, I've actually gone and learned how to do it and get your little chakra and your... no, what is it? Your... Yeah, I think it's your chakra. Something that you kind of keep
You're trying to
repeating.
align your...
your mantra here, not your chakras are these things. But your mantra. And I it's one of those things that I love the benefit of after I do it, but just don't make it into my routine.
Maybe
But back to Joseph.
Sorry, mate. You go.
I tell you what, watching him on field, there's a lot of Izzy Folau about him. How he glides, how he competes in the air, that left foot bounce step, very powerful kind of footwork. And I think, was it you, Drew, that was saying for his age, his height, and his shape, strongest, the best hip conditioning in the game?
I wasn't saying it.
Who was
First
that?
time hearing it.
Just claim it, Drew. That's very good. Well done, mate.
It was definitely you.
Yeah.
But, he's impressive, so...
Now, he wasn't the only superstar debuting for the Wallabies. Taniela Tupou, who's now throwing looping balls over the top.
I mean,
Tell you what.
we spoke about it when we were watching it. He could have scored that.
But he wanted to throw the pass?
Yeah, he could have scored that. But, I mean, lucky that that big Harbour Ridge pass made it out to Robbie Leota.
Yeah, I think the positive from that is that he identified the space, which I think they'd lacked a little bit in the first half, because I think there was one opportunity where Joey put it on the foot as opposed to just going out to Callaway out the back. Little things like that, which they'll tidy up and address during the week. But for Taniela to be aware of where the ball needed to get to, even though he was a couple of metres out and he's 140 kilos, probably the strongest kid on the park, got it there. And he got it there well enough for... Rob Leota to get over the line.
Well, the other one, Goit, was when he shaped a kick. Did you see that one? When he did a little...
Yeah, that was nice. Then tucked it. I mean, he's got the skill set.
Yeah.
And he, obviously, everyone talks about it. It's just trying to get him fit and keeping him on the paddock, for as many games as we can get, because a fit Taniela is great not only for the Waratahs, but it's good for Australian rugby. What I was going to ask, Swoop, is do you think that first 20 minutes, it was a bit clunky. Do you think it was the expectation and the pressure of having such a stacked team just to put points on, and they weren't putting it there, so it was just a bit clunky?
Not really. I just think historically all Australian teams have been dog shit in the first round. No, it's in terms of
There's your headline.
they have. I mean, Aussie teams have never trialled well. Have you ever had a great trial? First game's always a bit it's clunky, and that 20 minutes was that. I mean, they probably haven't put themselves in a genuine contest up into the lead. In the lead up to that first game. I know they had a good hit out against the Brumbies, but you're trying different combinations. Very stop-start. It's in the heat. Then they had the week off going into the first round where they probably did a little internal hit out, but it's the first, your time, everyone's timing's off in the first round, particularly the first 20 minutes. So I think it's just a case of that. But it's how they finished. I mean, they kind of adapted pretty well. They learned on the run, and they stayed in the fight. And you know who was really, really impressive? Sifa.
Yeah, I was about to say, we haven't mentioned him. But
I love the fact, that nice little front peel play, the special down the right-hand side. He just backed himself to get over the line.
Yeah, I mean, we heard it, Angus Bell was talking after the game, just saying his story is fantastic. He dropped 25 kilos since he got there for pre-season. He's put in the work, and then you can see the pay that happens after you work hard. So good on him, and some nice imagery on social media as well from behind his family, just in the corner where he scored his try. So special moment for his family. No
better pay than actually winning the game for his group.
Yeah,
in the last minute.
There you go, the mighty Waratahs. Good, I can see the joy in your face, us just dissecting them, and obviously they're battling this year with the squad that they've got, so well done.
I know, the poor things. They just keep digging deep, don't they?
They take on a bye this week. But we'll
Do you get points for a bye, or is it
points for a bye?
No, you get the points for. Thought that may have changed.
It makes no difference anyway.
That's true.
All right, Goit, you can wake up now because we're doing Brumbies 36 defeated and DRUA 32 over there in Fiji. Let me give you this sexy stat. You'll like this one, Drew, and you'll know it. They became the first Aussie Super Rugby team to win on Fijian soil. Well done, the Brums. Big round of applause. All right, get your scalpel out, Goit. Time to dissect, mate.
Yeah, I thought, I didn't know the team list as well. So it was a bit surprising at kickoff. I'd picked a couple of different players. I think even throughout the week I was saying, look for Tom Wright and a couple of other players. Lenny, I didn't know where he was going to be playing. Turns out he wasn't in the 23. So, I thought they did well. Inexperienced group. They started well, which was super important. But the DRUA over there, like, geez, they compete in the crowd. Once you get them involved, it becomes really, really tough. I thought maybe the Brumbies, they got out to a good lead, but then they got guilty with the yellow cards to the DRUA of maybe trying to play a little bit too loose, which went away from their structure and went away from actually what works for them and what's their best game plan. So I think there'll be some good learnings out of that. It was a big win, historic win, as you touched upon, Prof. I thought Rama was unbelievable at 7. A couple of tries, but he passed the HIA, thank God, came back on. Some crucial turnovers, I think. When the DRUA were starting to get away, I think they're up by maybe 9 points when he got his final turnover in the 22. But, yeah, it was a big win. I thought Noah Lolosia was really good. He was just in charge and moving everyone around. You could just see, even when the options that they were taking, when they were a bit loose, he was getting frustrated with, and you could see automatically the impact that he had by them tightening back up. And playing in the right areas of the field. Thought Muirhead was great as well.
Yeah, he was busy at fullback,
Yeah, I thought he did really well. Even just some smart stuff. When the ball gets out to him in the edge and it wasn't on to run, and they were playing that helter-skelter style, he just put it in behind, kicked it into touch, played that set-piece game. Yeah, I thought it was a really impressive win, especially when it looked like, with about 15 to go, that they were probably going to lose that one.
It's the championship minutes, isn't it, where these Aussie teams... And last year we kind of saw them not winning so much, but now they're all three on the weekend.
That was what I was going to say. What I learned over the weekend is, like, all three Australian teams found a way to win in those dying moments, whereas previously we haven't been on, I guess, the positive side of that ledger too often. So it's we saw it last year for the Wallabies against England. It's sort of starting to become part of the mindset and part of the psyche of players in Australian rugby that they've got to compete for that full 80 minutes, and they got the reward over the weekend, all of them.
Let me give you these names, Swoop, that weren't in the lineup. Slipper, Frost, Wright, Valentini, Ikitau and Alatoa. Wow. Pretty scary when they come back, this Brumbies side.
When do they come back? Is there any indication on that, Gits?
I think Robbie Valentini is the only one that's injured out of that group.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not too far
The rest of them should be back this week, I think.
Yeah.
That's a lot of experience and a lot of power.
What was the theory behind Sydenham, Biv? Do you know why?
I'm not sure. That's the other thing as well. Is maybe just give a bit of clarity around why, or like first round, because I think some of those guys played in trial games, but then not in the first round. I don't know if it's a resting. I don't know. Honestly, I just wouldn't know. I think that's sort of those types of things. If you make a bold call like that, like Bernie's made a bold call, but like maybe just give us a reason.
I think it was down here. He let us know. It was more just.
Is that on like
back up to
on Win TV or something?
Yeah, that's it. You don't get Win, or what are you 9?
Yeah,
just the.
And our TV's from 2025 as well.
Yeah, well, the good thing this morning on the news, they were talking about the weather. Every state was listed, but there's no weather prediction for Canberra. It's just like what is going on?
So sorry.
Back to the rugby. I think it was just a resting, getting him a bit more conditioning, and also rewarding those players that have done all the preseason. I think Bernie saw some great things with those young guys and getting them that experience over in Fiji and becoming the first team to win as well. They're going to get a lot of confidence out of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sexy stat, Tom Hooper, rugby triple-double, 13 carries, 13 tackles, 60 post-contact metres.
So did champion De Crepney from the Force, actually, yeah.
Ooh, wow. Some good numbers.
Do we do triple-doubles?
We are now, yeah.
Yeah. We do steals. We do assists. The whole lot.
I like Hooper. He's a beast.
Yeah.
Big frame, tough.
Yeah, Exeter. Yeah, he's off to Exeter.
He's off to Exeter. Do you still like him?
Still like him.
Good. You're a good man. They take on the Force next week. Anybody else got anything else on the Brums or the DRUA before we
I think
leave?
the DRUA are definitely going to be problematic throughout the year. They're going to be tough. Their I guess, focus needs to be how they play on the road. So they're always really strong at home, but I think they're playing away this weekend. So first opportunity, get on the road, get tight, and put in a performance.
Yes, they're at Windy Wellington
Yeah.
against Wellington. Chiefs 25 defeated the Blues. Obviously, the grand final replay from last year. The mighty Chiefs, they had their revenge, Goit, didn't they? Courtesy of
They
that
certainly
man,
did.
D-Mac.
Yeah, D-Mac was good. He started 15, which was surprising. Ended up moving into 10. I thought the bench, though, like Cortez Ratama, when he came on, geez, he made a difference. There was a try-saving tackle, I reckon. It was on Mark Talia. Maybe it could have been in the first 10 minutes of the second half, but then that was when the Blues were up. It almost shifted momentum. Then they had really good scrum dominance. They played the field position. I think they handled the wet conditions a lot better than the Blues did. It just looked like the Blues were struggling to really find their game for most of it. But hats off to the Chiefs. I thought they were really impressive. The captain, Jacobson, I thought he was phenomenal. Worked hard. D-Mac, obviously, 2 tries, kicked well. He just plays with a lot of confidence. I wonder how they can then transfer that. Not that he played poorly for the All Blacks in any stretch. He made the World Team of the Year, but just he looks so comfortable and free when he plays for the Chiefs. How you can transfer that to the ABs.
See, these coaches, they're all playing ducks and drakes, all of them. So Clayton McMillan, he left a lot of his high-profile players on the bench. So Va'ai, Radama, Leonard Brown, and Nawara. So all the All Blacks players. Why has he done that as well? And let me pose a second question. Is this because Razzie Erasmus has made it cool to be a bit quirky with your selections and stuff?
Well, it could be something similar to Stephen Larkham in terms of rewarding other guys that did the preseason. It could be also what Matt alluded to in terms of having a little bit longer to get the conditioning right and maybe just training sort of up their load through that week rather than just sort of tapering for the game. And it also could be tactically. Like I heard going into the game that the Blues would want to be in a really strong position before they come on because they got so much impetus off the bench. What I think about the benches as well is I actually think there's so much upside to putting all your players on at once. Because I think what we see when a player comes on, especially in like a pivotal position, it takes a little while for the team to, just find their rhythm again, and then they put another player on, and you've got to find your rhythm again, and then another one. Whereas if you get all 6 or 7 or whatever it might be at one time, the team just has to go through one process of finding your rhythm, right? So we've all been in games where your 9 gets subbed off, and then it's slightly different within your 9, or then the 10 gets subbed off 5 minutes later. And you're having to go through these periods of transition with players, whereas if you go on all at once, you just got that one period of transition to do it. So I actually think moving forward, more coaches are going to do like mass subs at one time.
I think it also provides a lot of confidence for guys coming on.
Yeah.
Like as they come on, if you're in a good position, you're like, oh, here come 4 All Blacks for us. Like, we're not going to lose this. And you almost, even if you're tired, you find another gear. I thought also 2 other players that I forgot to mention because they're not the headline stars, but I thought Tupaya, he was strong, worked really hard at 12. And Leroy Carter, his name. It was his debut on the weekend. His hips, they're as strong as yours, Biv. Like, he was carrying well, got a nice try on debut. I just thought he was really busy, especially against the 2 All Black wingers that he was up against. He didn't shy away from it. I thought he was immense too.
Very good. Leroy! I'm assuming they're probably the 2 favourites leading into the rest of the season. Yes, everybody agree?
Don't put words in our mouths, Prof.
Thanks for agreeing. And Sweep agrees as well. All 3 of you. Terrific. Chiefs, Crusaders next week. Oh, that'll be a good game. Then Highlanders, Blues. Geez, Superb Rugby just rolls on. Force 45 defeated MOANA, PASIFIKA.
Force
44. You're wearing the old Force jersey, Biv.
Yeah. What a
Aussie
spectacle.
win.
I mean, look, I know there's some people going, oh, this defence was optional, all that, but I just thought it was, both teams had great intent in attack. Firstly, it was Nathan Sharp walked out with the match ball. It's a 20-year anniversary of when the Western Force came together. So Sharpie being the first captain, he was over there for the weekend, and what a way for it to finish. Ben Donaldson's just streaking away after I think 25, 26 phases, getting a little mismatch against a tight forward and skipping on the outside and just going the length. But I thought that I thought he was gone early because he went up to Garden Bashop after he dropped a ball, and he just stood on the outside of his foot and he rolled his ankle a bit, and it looked pretty. It looked like he wasn't going to stay on, and then all of a sudden I think he said in the post game he had six Panadols. I don't know, maybe refer to your GP before you take 6. But he stayed out there. They strapped it up, and to have that in him right at the end, and obviously then had to convert from in front. But what a way to finish! But I thought there were some really strong performances. Of course, there's a lot to work on. Let's not let's be real about it. But I think Champion de Crepney was in the back row. He's come back from playing over in France. I think he was former Sydney Uni, went to France. Now he's at Western Force. He was really impressive. I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of upside in this Western Force side. And again, just you heard it after the game. Every player that was interviewed were talking about grit. So it's something that Simon Cron's obviously instilling in them is to just stay in the fight, just keep working for your mate, and and they certainly showed that to come out with a win. I think there was 12 points down with.
They needed 2 scores.
13.
9
I think
minutes
it's
to go,
13.
Yeah, right.
And then in the 84th minute.
Yeah.
Which says a lot about the mental grit that they've worked on. You could just see in the basics and the fundamentals of their game that they've worked a lot on that grit and that physicality, like just how the depth they are off 9, their departure times, their intensity and footwork into contact, their effective kind of accuracy around the attacking ruck and to clean out. I mean, they're getting the right parts of the game right, which is allowing them to play. And obviously, Donaldson, who had a bit of an ankle sprain scare early on, was able to show some serious toe. And when
he was quick. What about his goal kicking though? What was he, 8 from 8?
I think
That proved to be the difference in the end.
Well, you know what, Goit? I've got a little sexy stat here for you.
Oh, here we go.
Ben Donaldson became the second Western Force player to score more than 20 points in a match twice. Do you know who the other person is? Who was the first?
Cam Shepherd?
Matt Giddo.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yes, who?
I don't know. Says here you scored 20 points twice.
Pretending
Maybe
like he
Crusaders.
doesn't remember.
No. I remember I had an all right game against Crusaders.
I think they were both against the Brumbies.
No, I couldn't do that. I remember kicking like a dog against the Brumbies.
Force ball is what we're calling this grit ball. Simon Cron came out after he said the boys play simulations at training called force ball, where they focus on retaining possession and just going for it. He added that when Dylan crossed in the dying moments, it was time to play force ball and let it rip. That was Dylan Peach went over.
Yeah.
And then they had to get that last score. He had a big impact as well.
Yeah, Dylan Peach was
play
good.
there? Yeah,
you know
very good.
what will hurt them though, and similar to what happened with the Waratahs last year. So Harry Johnson-Holmes and Harry Hoopert both did their ACLs last week at training. So really testing their depth in the front row. Their scrum struggled at times against MOANA PASIFIKA. So teams will obviously identify that and maybe go at them. But I thought the guys that were in there, they did a well enough job to keep them in the fight. And the Force were able to kind of find a way, even though they were up against it at set piece.
And MOANA PASIFIKA, swoop, Artie Savi, you can see his fingerprints already. Dominating. They'll be all right this year, won't they?
They will. Whether or not they kind of rely on Artie too much, who knows? But Artie seemed a little off. I mean, the conditions were tough. It was hot. You could see that there was a lot of perspiration, which affected the grip of the ball. But he'll warm into that role, and I think he'll have a huge impact. He's part of my fantasy team too because that guy is hungry. He's a competitor. Loves to get his hands on the ball and get involved. But yeah, it was just, again, the clunkiness of round 1 with all teams.
I'll tell you, someone you'd be happy if he was in your fantasy team is Tamal Falau. He's a young winger on the edge.
Oh, yeah. He's flying.
He can play. Like he's not built too big like a lot of other sort of wingers that are running around at the moment. But geez, he can fly.
There's
He's-
none.
Just finds the
yeah,
try
there's
line.
not many better that glide like he does.
I think
He's
he's
a
tall.
well balanced
He's
runner.
got long
Found him-
stride on
Yeah,
him.
and found himself in space a lot in the backfield. So he's someone to keep an eye out. Maybe
Okay.
put him in your fantasy
I'm
team.
going to. I'll
Oh,
go
yeah.
back.
Biff, how would you have handled that force ball if we're doing that once a week when we're at the force? For training?
I would have probably had hammy awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, when I'm in it, I'll go all right, but I'll just whinge about it.
Yeah, but like just working for yardage and that, you just think it's pretty reckless. Like I
Oh,
can't
it
imagine.
definitely-
The amount of times that reckless would be used. This is reckless.
Yeah.
This is reckless. But it'd work like the negotiation or the whinging.
And then would the team still win? Because obviously you were pulling back on reps.
Oh, my team, yeah.
Your team.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Silly question. Do they still do full-on contact at training?
Yeah,
Are
of
they
course.
Like
You've got to.
full-on?
Yeah.
Well, and then you just
Yeah,
play on the
that's-
weekend.
Yeah, but that's when you hit the military gum, Prof. Have you ever had a crack at that?
No, what's the military
Like
gum
the
do?
caffeine gum. Just, well, you don't feel like it. You get to training, it's Tuesday afternoon, you know it's like your test match Tuesday where you got to have a crack. So all the boys just get a bit of energy gum, and then you
Can you play
fire
with?
it up, ready for crack.
Can you play with military gum?
Yeah, it's just like caffeine. It's like Nodos or
It'd be interesting to
Also,
know.
in a game time, you wouldn't really need it as much because you're actually playing for something. On a Tuesday training, you're just smacking your mates.
Sorry to interrupt, Gits. It'd be interesting to know if the test match Tuesdays shifted to Thursday because traditionally for us, Tuesday was our load day, hence the name test match Tuesday where you just go out and bash each other. You're wearing mouth guards and it's like full contact, but full noise as Czech used to refer to it as. But the Kiwis, they actually did their full contact on a Thursday.
To
Yeah,
play on,
that's-
and
And
I
I didn't experience, which is
That's
reckless,
yeah.
which I didn't experience until I collaborated with all these Kiwis in Japan, and had that kind of influence of not only Kiwi players but Kiwi coaches, and it was outrageous,
Mate, that's pushing it to be able to get over a little corky or...
I
They did
mean,
though, didn't they?
Yeah.
But
yeah.
our captain's run with Czech, we had to do some contact. Remember the tackling and that?
Yeah.
But
I mean, I
it's-
thought it was loose, but once you're there, you're just like, oh, well,
Because
this is what we do. How'd you find it, Swoop? What'd you prefer, Tuesday, Thursday?
I mean, I kind of preferred the Thursday, to be fair.
Mate,
Like,
he's
there
all
was-
over Kiwis. Oh, we need a Kiwi
No,
coach. Oh, Kiwi.
it's not
Oh, we
that.
like
It was
collab with Kiwis.
you're not really getting much. I mean, after a game, the Tuesday you're still kind of recovering, and the Thursday just kind of gets you battle ready. I mean, we end up beating. I think we beat Suntory 55-5 in the finals, and that was after a year of doing contact on a Thursday. So I don't know, mate. You do the math.
I reckon we compromise and do it on Wednesday.
Wednesday sounds perfect
Yeah.
to me. Hump day. Hump day.
Yeah, I missed
I
that
love
last
I love
week. Anyway.
contact on a hump day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, been a while. Right. Takeaways from round one of Super Rugby. Here are some sexy stats.
Oh,
Okay.
here we go.
You've got a few there. Let's go like a tennis
Let's go
match.
head to head.
45 tries in one weekend. That's my sexy stat. You got one?
Sexy, yeah.
Well, go further than that. 370. That's 9 tries and an average of 63.4 points per game.
Oof.
That's sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you walked around with a little robe on, and I just took your robe off.
All right. I'm about to walk up to the radio and turn it on with some sexy beats. Listen to this. This is the first round one ever where all games finished in the 1-12 margin.
Bookies.
We have
Well,
moved to the bed.
Yeah, the average margin of victory was just 5 points.
Oh wow,
Oh, strides are off.
I'm loving this.
I must say, I'm getting these stats from the rugby column, so shout out to the guys who do the work there.
Yeah, and I think Tom stole these ones from there as well. So thanks to the rugby column. I'm out of stats. You got one more sexy one just so we can all finish up?
There were 49 line breaks across all 5 matches, which is 9.8 per game. Sexy. Australian sides went undefeated for the first time in a round of Super Rugby since 2018.
See, Swoop, you were right. What'd you say? Dog shit? Shit house. What did you describe them as? Dog shit house. Okay. There you go. Fantastic stats.
Yeah.
Go Superb Rugby. Go the Aussie sites. Hey, we used to call it something else. Now we're calling it KOKO Locos. And until the group that paid us to do this come back, then we won't call it what we used to with them.
Sure.
Who did you go loco for on the weekend? I want you to pick one player, a standout player, somebody that...
CO Sifo Mane. Yeah, not young Norse boy. I thought his impact on the bench, 2 tries off the back of a successful preseason or hard-working preseason, losing the weight that he needed to. Well done. Well done.
I'm going to go Ben Donaldson. I just thought that was just a great moment. I genuinely got out of my chair when he ran the length. So good on you, Benny Donaldson.
Benny Donaldson. Goit.
Oh, I touched on it in the Brums review, but Rima, he was
He went mine.
sensation. Sorry.
Good on you. Well done. I'm going to go Damien McKenzie.
Oh, of course.
Oh, mate. He was good.
He was very good.
Either that or Sever Reese was very good as well. So well done to all those.
What about the Bricky labourer, Preston?
Oh, yeah, he was very good. Hat
Yeah.
trick. Is he actually a proper
I think
Brickie?
he was a labourer, and he shifted from. He actually was in the setup at the Hurricanes, and then went to the Crusaders for an opportunity. First game against the Hurricanes.
Love a story like that. Very well done to
Hard
everybody.
work.
Um,
That was me today. Lightning struck our tree throughout the week, and it fell down. Yeah, so it's split in half, and it's fallen onto the backyard late at night. No kids there or whatever, thankfully. But the amount of work I've had to do there, like
What are you doing
sawing-
to move a tree? Do you have to saw it? Do you have to?
yeah,
axe it?
hand saw those big scissors to try and get it, but you know,
Yeah, big
I'm
scissors.
not much of a
I think they're
worker.
secateurs, bro.
who did you call?
Yeah, whatever
Goit?
they are.
Who came
They're
and moved the
not
tree?
mine.
You're pretty good at hand sawing, aren't
Yeah, the hand sawing was fine. I was doing that all day. But it's transporting to the trees. Anyway, got there. But yeah, it's tough work, that proper work.
you? Show us you got any little calluses on your hands?
I do. Can you zoom in?
Oh, yeah. Look at those.
Look at those Zonka
I did.
fingers.
I know. I did have the gloves on though as well. Because it was a bit prickly. There was
Yeah.
one that's got horns and that on it.
Were they the gloves you used to wear in Super Rugby?
No, these ones covered all
Without the
the
fingertips.
The kitchen dishwashing gloves. were
Careful with your green bin. Don't make sure it's not too heavy.
No, I've got to get a green skip. This is huge.
Oh,
It's not
mate, I
fitting the
can
bin.
We need photos, please.
Yep.
All right, I'll show you all chopped up.
Fantastic. All right, folks, we are going to finish episode 1 of week 3 with Swoop's favourite thing. It's time now for the KOKO Quiz.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the KOKO Quiz. It's, we've had a couple of networks approach us to make this full-on shows for 5 p.m. weekdays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they want us to go head-to-head with Millionaire
And tipping point.
and Tipping Point. They want the
That
KOKO
tipping
Quiz.
point gives me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah, well, it doesn't take much to give you
I know.
anxiety is what we've
You
got.
don't watch much TV, do you?
Righto, you know the rules. Actually, no, they've changed slightly today. There's been lots of whinging online. So we do have whiteboards now where the boys will write their response A, B, C, or D. Then they will hold them up all at once. I mean, we've actually removed all the banter, which is fantastic for a podcast. But we'll give it a go this week.
Sure.
Everybody happy with that?
Yep.
Question number 1. Which of these inventions was not created in Christchurch, New Zealand? Not created. A, the jet boat. B, aerosol cans. C, spring-free trampolines. Or D, a legal way of turning the ball over at the breakdown. We are looking at you, Richie. Tommy. Don't forget, do you? A, B, C, or D. I'm going to count you in. 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. Swoop's gone C. Biv's gone A. Goit's gone B. And the correct answer is C.
Oh, I had seen I rubbed it out.
Hence,
Thought they wouldn't come up with deodorant. Sure.
Dr. Keith Alexander from Auckland in the 1980s. He invented...
I thought it was someone else from Springfield. But anyway.
There you go. Question number 2 after the game. James No, this is where I need to move on to question number 2. DRUA coach Glenn Jackson used to be a player and a referee before turning to coaching. Glenn would blow the pee out of any bloody whistle, but his whistle of choice was the Acme Thunderer. How much do you think a top-of-the-line Thunderer whistle costs?
Ooh.
A, $40, B, $50, C, $60, D, less than the price of your sex life being a referee? What?
Well, that'd be expensive, I'd imagine.
I'd say so. All right, A, B, C, or D? 3, 2, 1, go. A from Gits, C from Biv, C from Swoop. The answer, a ding, 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 C. $60.
Here we go. He's on the board.
2, 1, 0. All right, question number 3. Chief star Damien McKenzie had a night to remember at Eden Park in round 1, taking down the Blues 25-14. Although he is now a superstar of the game, he came from hard-working beginnings. What profession do D-Mac's parents work in? Is it A, lamb and sheep farmers, B, dairy farmers, C, poultry farmers, D, dumb smile farmers? Mate.
Ooh.
A, B, C, or D?
So it was lamb and sheep.
Lamb and sheep, dairy,
So
or
lamb
poultry.
are sheep, right? They're just little ones. So
Yep.
it's a sheep.
Sheep,
Yeah.
mate.
Dairy.
Dairy or poultry,
Poultry.
which is chickens.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Dairies. 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you've gone. We've gone B from B, A, and C.
Mackenzie
B
for
those
McChickens.
listening.
C.
Goit has gone B. Biff has gone A. Swoop has gone C. The answer, a ding, 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 is B. Congratulations.
Hey,
Goit
all.
is on the board.
Good on you,
2,
Goit.
1,
Thanks,
1.
bro.
2 questions to go. As well, as we all saw on the weekend, the Waratahs battled the Highlanders in Sydney. On the topic of battles, what was the cause of the only military-led coup in Sydney's history in 1808? A, rum was prohibited. B, the government implemented a citywide ban on beef. C, they added a love tax to brothel visits. D, the price of opium went up by 5 shillings. A, rum. B, ban on beef. C, love tax. D, opium went up in price. 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. Swoop's gone A. Biv's gone D. And Goit's gone B. The answer, a ding, 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 was A. That is an unassailable lead.
Oh, he's hot. He's on a heater. Fuck, it's hot in here.
What was A?
Rumbo.
Rum.
Do you want me to do the last
It's
one?
Yeah,
either
do
that,
the
it's
last
either
one.
that or
Yeah.
opium.
We might get a
You're
second.
going to play for second, mate.
Yeah, playing for second. Ain't nothing wrong with silver.
You're first to lose, right? The Western Force players were whinging before the start of the Super Rugby season about the Force's draw and the amount of travel. With the Force playing the Brumbies in Canberra for round 2, how far in kilometres is the flight from Perth to Canberra? A,
Ooh.
3,084 kilometres. B, 3,094 kilometres. C, 4,004 kilometres. D, we asked Nick White and he told us, wah, wah, wah. 384.
I don't think there's a direct flight from Perth to Canberra.
Swoop's gone A.
I don't know,
No,
whatever
sorry,
the
he's gone
flight for
C.
C.
Goit's gone C. And Biv's
Oh,
gone B.
Good at the whiteboards.
This one.
B. The answer is A. No one wins. A ding, ding, ding. Apart from Swoop, we got
Yeah.
equal second. There we go. That
Jeez.
was the KOKO Quiz brought to you by Tom. Congratulations,
Tommy.
Tom. Well, another win for Swoop. We will find out how you cheat at some
Is that
point.
is that just to confirm for clarity? 3 in a row.
It is 3
To confirm for clarity, like,
That's a turkey.
Have we
Swoop,
done- is
you're
this
a
our third
genius,
episode?
son.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you, Swoop.
3 strikes in a row. What's that?
Yeah.
That's
turkey.
turkey, yeah.
Gobble gobble.
Didn't I get it last week?
No, Swoop's won all 3.
All right. Well,
I guarantee we will find out how he cheats, Goit. We will get someone on it.
what about just knowing the answers?
There's that. Terrific. Well done, Swoop. Nice work, everybody. Congratulations to all the sides that won the Superb Rugby on the weekend. This is the end of the first episode. Coming up, as I mentioned, we've got Will Skelton. We'll also be taking a look forward at the, what have we got? The Superb Rugby games for next weekend, but also the Six Nations games. And you boys will also be picking more players in the locked in lines. So
yeah.
we'll be picking our next 4, I guess, if you let me pick one.
Sure, absolutely.
They're the people
as
that
long
can...
as you pick a good one.
I picked a good one last
I know you
week.
did, yeah,
I don't
you
remember
did.
who I picked.
Jemison.
There you go. Okay, very good. That's all that's left to do on this, other than tell you where the website is, www.kickoffsandkickons.com. Everything's on there. If you're a sponsor, you want to jump on board, let us know. Email us, info@shtn.com. We are .au. Thank you, Tommy. We are kickoffs and kick-ons. All that's left to do. Anybody got
Yeah,
anything
well, I
else they
just
want
want
to
to say
add?
thanks for watching the review. Make sure you tune into the preview.
Oh, give us one.
Ooh.
Cuckoo! Oh, wow. That is the best video on YouTube. You know what you need to do now? You need to like and subscribe down there. Or if you want extra content, might be down there, you need to go up here or up here and get more of that gear. Thanks for supporting Kickoffs and Kick-Ons, and we will see you very soon.